Welcome, my fellow future educators. Let me introduce myself first. I am Melmar Itumanda, 19 years old. Turning 20 this February 11. Yes, happy birthday to me. And anyway, I'm a second year student and under the College of Education with the course BEd. Yes. And by the way, I am the reporter who's going to tackle about addressing the differences in handling ability differentiated instruction. Okay, please don't be confused with the title because our only focus here is how to accommodate the differences of our students through differentiated instruction. What is differentiated instruction? Well, we are going to talk about that later. But first, let me introduce you our learning objectives. First, we have describe what is differentiated instruction. Second, understand some basic principles of differentiating content, process, and product in an academically diverse classroom. Okay. Third is administer an assessment to gather information about students' readiness, interests, and learning preferences. And last one is be able to implement one or more instructional strategies that support differences. Okay? Okay. Moving on, I have here some kind of an eye-opener or a reminder for us future educators that we should expect. Okay, we should expect that students come to our classrooms with a variety of the following. First, prior educational experiences. For example, not all of your students know how to do basic math. Okay, so you can immediately give them algebra or something, or equation, etc. So that is what prior educational experiences trying to imply. Second is interest or motivation. We observe this is commonly happened in the lower grades. For example, the kinders, grade 1, they have this tantrums. They cry. They become little devils. They just don't like the setup or the learning area, or they just don't have this interest. That's it. Their lack of motivation from their parents, etc. Third, readiness level. So some of them might their learnings might be delayed, or they don't have the kung sa gera pa walang bala ganun. Walang balang dala. Okay, moving on to the fourth variety, the personal experiences. So if the student have these personal experiences, then he or she might relate to your topic, diba? And so on and so forth. And last one is learning styles or preferences. So halimbawa, some of your students learn through group discussions. Yung iba naman one-on-one, teacher and student. And some of them might learn through by pair to their classmates kung yung classmates sila magtuturo, and so on, so forth. Okay, according to Howard Gardner, the biggest mistake of past centuries in teaching has been to treat all children as if they were variants of the same individual, and thus to feel justified in teaching them all the same subjects in the same way. So, diba, alam natin na there are varieties of students in a classroom, which is observable kasi as a student pa naman ako, I can see it. I mean, when I compare myself to others, to my classmates, there is difference. I mean, meron silang kakayahan na wala ako, meron din akong kakayahan na wala sila. That is why I totally agree with Mr. Howard Gardner that it is the biggest mistake to treat all students the same way. Okay? Yung, the thought of it, this kind of teacher na, you guys can do this. Okay, you're already in this level, you should know about this, blah, blah, blah. Without thinking that we are different individuals. Right? I mean, okay, let's move on. Moving on naman. Now, okay, I think anyone will totally agree with Mr. Gardner's statement. Right? Well, not everyone, but still, some of you might agree. Because we 21st century teachers are already aware that we are going to have a classroom of diverse learners, magkakaibang estudyante, magkakaibang pangangailangan, magkakaibang kakayahan, etc. And also, we totally agree that some of the past teaching strategies are not going to be effective with them. Diba? Kasi iba na mga estudyante ngayon, iba na talaga. They have this, they can learn by themselves. Some of them have access to different learning resources, some are not. So, again, there is difference. So, ang tanong ngayon, this is the question that plagues teachers. Paano, how to attend to the evident differences in a room that contains so many young bodies. Okay, future educators, this is where differentiated instructions comes in. Okay, this is the answer. But first, I would like to ask everyone to set everything aside, whatever's in your mind, set everything, and focus for a minute on what you already know about DI or differentiated instruction. Anong naiisip mo pag nababasa mo tong differentiated instruction? Okay, now hold on to your thoughts. Don't let them slip from your mind. You can write them down and then compare your thoughts to the current definitions offered by national experts. Ito. Yan. National Professional Resources. This is according to NPR Incorporation. Differentiated instruction is a comprehensive and flexible process that includes the planning, preparation, and delivery of instructions to address the diversity of students' learning needs within the classroom. Through DI, teachers take into account who they teach, what they teach, yung topic nila, where they teach, their learning areas, and how they teach. Nakasalalay ito sa teacher, or how the teachers approach to their students, different kind of students. Now let's get deeper with this DI, or differentiated instruction. Let's start with Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote. Okay, he said, "If we only learn methods, we are tied to those methods. But if we learn principles, we can develop our own methods." So, kung nakafocus lang tayo sa kung anong tinuro sa college, like for example, the college of education, kung nakafocus lang tayo doon, nakafocus lang tayo sa kung paano magturo, then we are tied to those methods. Pero sabi niya, if we learn by principles, we have our own principles, we can develop our own methods. So, to know that you are doing differentiated instructions, here are some principles that you must have to have a differentiated classroom. Okay, first example here is, all students participate in respectful work. Second, teacher and students work together to ensure continual engagement and challenge for each learner. So, diba, dapat may role pa rin si teacher. Number one, vital role pa rin ni teacher to work together with his students. Third, the teacher coordinates the use of time, space, and activities. Fourth, we also have flexible grouping, which includes whole class learning, pairs by pairs, student-selected groups, or teacher-selected groups. I think my experience ko na to when I was grade 1. Yes, meron tayong, I was belong to a group of students who are, sabihin na natin, A+. Okay, meron ding group of students na iniba ni ma'am, and those are the medyo mahina. For example, mahina sa math, mahina sa comprehension, so on and so forth. So, hindi sa nagmamayabang, but as a A+ student, ang ginagawa namin, tinuturoan namin yung mga medyo mahina sa lesson. Tinuturoan namin sila para makaintindi, and especially sa reading, yun ang ginagawa namin. Yun ang nare-remember ko when it comes to this flexible grouping or student or teacher-selected groups. And moreover, under sa flexible grouping, nandyan din ang random groups. We have clearly established individual and group criteria. Okay, as a teacher, it is part of grading performance task. She should have an individual and group criteria. It is very important to provide guidance toward success or to meet the standards. Fifth na tayo. A variety of management strategies, such as learning centers, interest centers, learning. Fifth one is a variety of management strategies, such as learning centers, interest centers, learning buddies, etc. It is used to help target instruction to student needs. So, even I'm a student, I also teach or tawag natin dito is tutor. Okay, tutor students who don't know how to read or how to write or how to do arithmetics or basic math. That's it. That is an example of management strategies. Naka-focus lang sa certain subject, ganun. Doon binabanatan, tinuturuan ng teacher. Last, students are assessed, okay? Students are assessed in a variety of ways to demonstrate their thought and growth. So that was some of the examples of principles of a differentiated classroom. So if you have those kind of principles in life as a teacher, then you might be able to accommodate the differences of your students. Diba? For example, the clearly established individual and group criteria. So your criteria will base on their in their differences or their capacity as a student. Okay? Our next discussion is all about adjustment of 4 curriculum-related elements. So this is still part of differentiated instructions because at the core of the classroom practice of DI, again, is the adjustment of 4 curriculum-related elements. We have the content. The content is the knowledge or understanding. Next is the process, or how students learn, okay? How students understands or make sense of the content. And third is the product. How students demonstrate what they have come to know or paano nila ma-apply yung knowledge nila about a certain topic. And last one is effect. How students' emotion and feelings impact their learning. Again, an example of this emotion, or I think parte ang emotion sa when it comes to learning. If they feel better, if they feel good, diba? We used to ask, our teachers used to ask us before they start their discussion, how are you feeling today? Are you guys feeling good? How's your weekend? Because emotion has an impact to ourselves. And for example, if we're not feeling good, then I think we don't have the aura or the mood to learn. Now, this adjustment that we tackled are made in response to the 3 categories that student needs or variance. Natakal natin to kanina, but these 3 are considered as some of the major variety of the student. Okay, first is the readiness. Okay, when you say readiness, it is a student's current proximity to specified knowledge. Your student might still not get your previous discussion, so that means he or she is not ready for the following topic. That is readiness. Third, you know what it is, interest. So this includes the engagement of the student, their attention towards you, the curiosity, and also the involvement. Kung he or she participate to your class. That is the interest. And last one is the learning profiles or the learning preference. So again, a preference for taking in or exploring or expressing content. How the student absorb your all of your topic or the content of your topic. Okay, before we proceed to the next discussion, let me clarify first this part. Okay, the 4 curriculum-related elements and the 3 categories of student or variance. So what is the connection between these 2? For example, if you choose one of the variance, which is readiness, okay, if you were at that situation as a teacher, like you are not satisfied of your students' capacity or performance, you're not satisfied with it, then the only thing you need to do is go back at that 4 curriculum-related elements, because this is the core of the classroom when it comes to practicing differentiated instruction. These are the 4. Again, the content, process, product, and the effect. Okay? If you're not satisfied with the readiness of your student, some of them still don't get it, then go back, reflect. That's the key word. Okay? Content, process, product, effect. Sa content muna. ano ba yung content ng topic mo? Is it appropriate to the level of your student? Ganon. The second is process. Did your student understand every word you're saying? The instruction you're giving to them, did they understand those process? Third, the product. Reflect to the product. That's it. Mababa ang scores, hindi nila masyado na express, hindi nila, I mean, nga sila. Nga yung mga estudyante mo about a certain topic. That's how you reflect on the product. The fourth one is the effect, which is, we're talking about the emotions. What are they feeling at that day? Oh, for example, umuulan ba nung araw na yon, or uso bang trangkaso noon? Nagkalagnat-lagnat ba yung mga estudyante mo kaya hindi sila masyado, wala sila sa mood para makinig sa'yo sa mga topic or sa mga discussion mo? That's it. You reflect on those four. Okay? Naintindihan na ba yung previous discussion natin? Because within the next few slides, you will be introduced with some differentiated instructional strategies, such as here, tiered lessons, reading and study buddies, flexible grouping, anchor activities, think tacto, think pair share, graphic organizers, etc. Now, remember, these are just some of the many examples of differentiated instructional strategies. But let me remind you again, just like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, if you know the principles of DI, or the differentiated instructions, then you can develop or make your own activities or strategies. Okay. Gets? Now to prove that these are DIs, I have an example here. We have here this exit cards. You're familiar with that, I'm pretty sure. I must say that exit cards are one of the perfect examples of DIs, because this kind of activity doesn't neglect those lower grade students, or those students who perform not really good in your class. So with these cards, you can set a standard. Like we have here an example. For group 1, they have the cards that are appropriate or applicable to those students who are struggling with the concept or skills or a certain topic. For example, they are not good in multiplication. Then maybe they can go to another alternative topic that still connected to the multiplication and still in line with their topic. So example then is skip counting. Okay, that is one way to learn multiplication. Again, going back to our topic, or the exit cards, we have here sa group 2. Okay, sa group 2 naman, yung card is para sa mga estudyante that somehow nakakaintindi ng topic or the concept or skills, or they still have the nakakagets pa rin sila. And last one here sa group 3 daw, these cards are for those students who understand the concept or skills. So para na to sa mga examples sa multiplication, para na yun sa mga estudyante na nakakapag-multiply dahil sa diretso. So notice how this exit card have been differentiated by readiness. Example dito, explain the difference between simile and metaphor. So give some examples. So you can tell that this card is for those who are already know the topic, diba? Ready na. These are those students na readiness are to the highest level. Ganon. And the second card, happy as a clam. So simple lang siya, no? Simple card. So you can tell again that this is for those students who are not ready for the topic. But still, as you compare the two cards, they're still in line with each other. They have still the same subject or topic. Yes? Yes. So what you're seeing right now is just a guideline or a reminder for us future educators, or for those teachers out there who are watching this. These are just a guideline for you to be able to have differentiated classroom. Okay? Example, examine your philosophy about individual student needs. If you're inclined to that kind of knowledge, then surely you will have this, you will be motivated to have a differentiated classroom, diba? Because you know that they are different. Every individual have different needs, have different capacity, have different understanding, have different ways to learn your topic. Oh, envision how an activity will look, step back and reflect. That is very important. Talk with students early and often. You know, communication, that's the key. Yung sinasabi nila, communication is the key. Next, continue to empower students. Of course, you need to empower students. And be analytical. Yes, analyzing is very important. It's like connecting the dots. Oh, this doesn't work to my student. Blah, change. That's it. Okay, the end. That's all for today. I hope you understand my topic. This has been Melmar Itumanda. Thank you for watching, and just for a little amount of time we've been together. I mean, we are classmates in this section, GED113. Section TT3. Okay. If you have questions or any suggestions or clarifications, please you can email me, or I have my email in the classroom or Google Class, and you can also contact me on my messenger, Melmar Itumanda. You can direct message me, and yes, leave your comments down below. I almost forgot. Leave your comments down below. What are your takeaways, and how can I improve or anything. That's all. Bye bye.